Hello and welcome back to Subnautica. I'm Vic, and you're watching yet another Let's Play channel. So what do you say we get on with a little bit of exploration, and then the promised tableting and more exploration? Although, you know, which has occurred to me, yeah. Alright. Good job on the start there, Vic. Definitely don't bring along the ion cube that you knew you needed. It's because in between episodes I farmed up some ion cubes and suffice to say, I think there are enough in the Cyclops to serve my needs for the remainder of the game. And Prawn Suit, I need you to... Thank you. Alright, I'm going to take 2, because I need to. But then, because I'm obsessed, I'm going to mine 3. I like having resources, what can I say? And it's always good to have spares. You never know when, you know, a glitch might blow up your Cyclops and cost you everything. It's a thing that happens to people that are not me. I mean, it hasn't happened to me yet, but the point is that it could. And it's too early in the episode to be rambling like this. Where do you suppose this teleport takes us? I didn't go through the other ones, did I? I'll continue that trend of not going through. The last one that I went through was the one in the power facility. Yeah, I think that's right. And something interesting should be behind this door. Looks kind of science-y.
Appears to be a biological archive storing more than 40 indigenous egg specimens in different states of development.
What's making that little grunty noise? Is something alive in here? What the hell kind of egg is that? I haven't seen that before. Most of these are familiar. Some of them certainly are not.
Integrating new PDA data.
See Emperor Leviathan research. Oh look, it's her ass. Specimen size categories have been adjusted upward to accommodate this species. In other words, prior to this moment, the PDA called only things that were smaller than this Leviathan class. Feeding and digestion. Alien research data indicates that despite its size, this species feeds entirely on microorganisms it filters from the water, which themselves depend on a complicated ecosystem of plant and animal life. Reproduction. Large ovary-like organs are carried in the creature's middle section, suggesting that, like other species on the planet, it produces eggs. However, internal scar tissue indicates probable infertility. Enzyme 42. The Emperor manufactures enzyme 42 within its stomach cavity to break down its food, and will occasionally expel it into the surrounding waters. This substance was found to neutralize the effects of the bacterium, and its presence in the ecosystem today would explain how life on the planet survived the outbreak. It would remain to be explained by what mechanism the enzyme is being delivered, except we actually already know that because we already visited the other side where the peepers travel. Health. Comparative analysis of size and metabolic rates indicates the specimen captured by the researchers was approximately 1,600 years old. Extensive internal and external scar tissue suggest it had lived well in excess of the peak lifespan for its species. Assessment. While a healthy Emperor specimen may have held some potential as a cure, it is unlikely any research subjects survived quarantine procedures. Except somebody has been sending us a telepathy from down here, claiming to be what we're looking for. And she probably didn't mean a girlfriend. That a big egg. Not the biggest egg we've seen, but pretty big. I think I have one of those. I do not like the eyeball egg. And I want to know what it is, because I don't think it's a peeper. Seen one of those, got one of those, got one of those, got one of those. That doesn't look familiar. And that's where I came from. Now, where is all that grunting coming from, I don't know. Definitely haven't seen that. Got some repeats, though. If it's an archive, why are there repeats? That one didn't quite make it to the vessel. I think I have one of those. And apparently the grunting is just gonna remain a mystery. Fine. I have other things I should be doing anyway. So when I say I think I have enough ion cubes to last me the rest of the game, I mean that I can make ion power cells for the Cyclops. I can make a backup set to store in Tranquility Base. I can make a second backup set to store in Alpha Base, and I will still have enough ion cubes left over to make all the batteries I could want. A set to keep in the Cyclops, a set to keep in Alpha Base, a set to keep in Tranquility Base, and enough batteries to replace all the ones in the tools in my pockets, plus the spare tools in my pockets. It took me several minutes to gather all of those ion cubes up. And I think there are only 1 or 2 more tablets that I'm going to need to make. So I really should be set for life. So we've got 4 teleports to places. I think one is going to take me to somewhere on the quarantine platform, maybe. Unfortunately, it does that every time I look at it. 3 go to caches that are going to matter shortly. And that makes 4. But I have to say, I'm not in a hurry to do that stuff. And I'm considering some side missions. I don't know that I want to establish bases at all of the caches, but I do think I want to have vehicles available for all of the caches. Alright, I need a blue tablet, and I don't have a blue tablet, which means it's time to go back to the Cyclops. I should read this computer thingy up here first.
Integrating new PDA data.
According to translated data logs, an indigenous Leviathan species was found to produce a unique substance referred to as enzyme 42, which inhibited the symptoms of the corabacterial infection in other indigenous organisms. The specimen was captured and contained in a purpose-built habitat for further study. The alien researchers went to great lengths to provide for the life form's environmental needs, including the import of interdependent flora and fauna via an on-site warp gate. However, its health quickly deteriorated. When the quarantine was imposed, all warp gates and force fields were sealed. All attempts to develop the enzyme into a vaccine had been unsuccessful. And that last statement is going to be interesting. once we arrive at the conclusion of the game. Wow, have I been up here? Yes, I have. Okay. Preserved fetus. Preserved is one word for it. It looks like it's stuck full of needles to me. I'll figure that out later. If at all. Empty container. Empty container. Preserved egg. Excuse me. That was strange. Shell composition. The shell casing is formed from thick layers of carbon composite, suggesting an extensive gestation period. This Leviathan species may give birth just once per century, perhaps just once in their lifetimes. Precise incisions suggest a laser-based tool was used to cut open the egg casing and forcibly remove the fetus inside, prior to full gestation. Time pressure to develop a bacterial vaccine may have driven the alien researchers to cut open this egg and remove the fetus for study. It is also possible that, removed from its parent and natural habitat, some vital condition for the infant to hatch naturally was not met. And so we're starting to get a rather complete picture now. Although there are still going to be some question marks by the end. The aliens came here ostensibly for other reasons. Brought the Bacterian with them, most likely. Discovered, as we have, that life seems to persist on the planet despite the presence of the bacterium. Traced that survival to Enzyme 42 and the Sea Emperor Leviathan. And attempted to develop an actual cure, but failed to do so. Among other reasons, because they could not hear her when she tried to communicate with them. Alright. Tablet time. And in the course of their failure, what? You know, actually, that timeline doesn't make sense. Because yeah. If that's the case, then hello, what are we doing here? If that's the case, then what led to their eventual deaths? If we instead assume that the planet was not infected, and that the attack by the Dragon Leviathan on the research facility led to an outbreak, I think that makes more sense. But that doesn't really explain how they came to discover Enzyme 42 and its significance. So I guess there are still some question marks. But you see what I mean? I got miles and miles of ion cubes. I have 0 email styles. That's somebody else. What do I need? I need kyanite. Do I only need kyanite? I think that's right. There we go. And a snack is also in order. Nope, it wasn't time for that. Suppose I can put the orange tablet away. I don't think I'm going to need it. But it's just 1 square of inventory. And it's better to have it and not need it. Now, have I emptied that out yet? Good. Good, good, good. I am going to continue to mine the ion cubes whenever I pass by, because I'm an actual lunatic. But I have plenty of space in the submarine, so it's fine. I suppose the other possibility is that these guys really were so desperate for any kind of clue that they were just cruising around, visiting every planet they could find, and exposing specimens from the planet to the disease just to see if somebody had something to offer. And that is how they came upon Enzyme 42 and the Sea Emperor. I don't know if we know it yet, but at some point we learn that the death toll from this thing is in the tens of billions, I think. In fact, I think I recall commenting that that number seems low for interstellar species. Alright, well, you can bet something interesting is down there. But what's going on over there? Alright. Can we do it? Alright. Neither my jump jets or my winch have the juice to get me up there, so fine. Oh, hello.
Are you here to play? Others came here once. They built these walls. They played alone. They bored me. Now they're gone. And instead, we have you. We are curious whether you swim with the current or fight against it, as they did.
Well, you know, on the whole topic of the girlfriend thing, I don't want to body shame or anything, but I think you might be a little large for me. But I suppose we could try and play if you promise to be ever so gentle. So I'm now down another...
Detecting unusually passive behavioral patterns in nearby predators. Reason unknown.
Yeah, she's just pacified everything in the area by virtue of being the Empress. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we're down another 150 meters from when we entered this place. Which I imagine gives an idea of just how massive this space is and how big she is. So I guess we should figure out what kind of games she wants to play, huh? Do you think she likes D&D? I could go for a bit of Baldur's Gate. Did I bring a cube? I did, on account of my previously mentioned lunacy. Excellent.
Environment scans indicate the water here is rich with a rare, plankton-like life form which depends on the organic detritus produced by the ecosystem around it.
My young need to hatch, to play outside this place. We have been here so long. The others built a passage to reach the world outside. I asked them for this freedom, but they could not hear me. If you help us, I will leave you freely, but the others tried in vain to take.
Oh, she's swishing around the water to keep it clear. Well, I'm not sure that helping you out means that you're giving me something freely, but it sounds like an incredibly fair deal to me. Help you hatch your little ones, and in exchange, I get to not be as sick with a deadly pathogen anymore. Win-win.
With the passage you have opened, my young can leave this place. But first they must feel the time is right and break free of their shells. This is what the others could not force from me. To you, I give the secret willingly.
New blueprint acquired.
So she not only can communicate with me telepathically, she can also communicate with my PDA telepathically. Available biological data has been used to synthesize the effects of the alien bacterium on the Sea Emperor's natural life cycle. This creature likely lived and moved in small herds around the planet's ocean trenches, coming to the surface to feed off the huge volumes of microorganisms in the shallower waters. Family size would be strictly limited by available food supply. Offspring would likely split off at a young age to form their own herds elsewhere. Given their sparse population, mating and egg-laying was likely infrequent, possibly a once-in-a-lifetime event. The species likely had a preferred environment for egg-laying. In fact, successful hatching may depend on such conditions. Given the rarity of this event, it is impossible to calculate those conditions precisely. There is no evidence to support the assumption that all members of the species were immune from the alien bacterium. Even if this is so, there is evidence that the introduction of the bacterium decimated life on the planet, and this would have had catastrophic effects on the Emperor's food supply and survival rate. The symbiotic relationship between this specimen and other life forms likely developed as a direct result of the bacterial infection. Those life forms which learned to keep the Emperor alive survived with its help. This may explain the vast tracts of lifeless ocean in a rough perimeter around the Emperor's location. In other words, this one critter has kept the entire region that we've been exploring alive for a millennium, in spite of the Karad infection, which sort of makes you wonder, what does it actually mean for the precursors to have failed in their task? Like, I don't get it. And it's further complicated by the fact that once we get exposed to the bacterium or to the enzyme, we're going to be cured. Now, I'm not taking the down there way out because I want to go back the way I came, and I actually have no idea if this is even going to work. But here we go. All right. I'm actually surprised by how crippled the prawn suit is on land. I feel like a vehicle that's meant for true all-terrain capability, including deep sea and outer space, being on land shouldn't be such an impediment. I mean, it makes sense from a video game perspective. It just doesn't make sense from what this thing is really supposed to be perspective. Alright, so I've got the enzyme blueprint. I've got all of the teleporters active, with the possible exception of that one I couldn't get to. So, I think now it's time to actually go through these teleports and see where they wind up. And then it'll be time for a bit of screwing around. Because I want to upgrade all my gear, which is going to take some considerable resource gathering. And build some more vehicles, which is also going to take resource gathering. Alright, so this looks islandy, doesn't it? Is this one actually underwater, or no? I thought all of these places were going to take me underwater. Ah, it does. So this is... interesting, is what this is. We're at 300 meters down. We got Kushes around. We got bitey assholes around. And we got zappy assholes around too, although I lost sight of him. This is, I guess not that far from places I've been. Obviously I haven't found this one because I haven't placed a beacon here. You guys gonna continue to be difficult? I'm going to take that as a no. Am I carrying any beacons? Of course not. Why would I be carrying a beacon? Alright, well, I will return here and place a beacon. Yeah, chase me in here, you dick. I don't know why, but the corporation that I work for has a logo that I feel like is super well suited for being on that pedestal. If I was more of a modder, I might try and make it happen just for fun. I also wouldn't share that. It would just be for me, for funsies. Maybe I could 3D print one. That could be fun. I think the folks at work would get a kick out of that. Alright, don't overshoot the door now. Oh look, more ion cube. Don't mind if I do. It really is an obsession. I am entirely too enamored of ion cubes. Yes, they're cool, but also I have been quite emphatic about the fact that I have more than I need. But I have an unlimited supply, so it's like, why not? You know, the other thing that I wonder is why I can't build an ion power generator for the base. Am I wrong about that? Wait a dang minute. Why didn't I turn this on? I was really slacking in the last episode. Oh, I didn't turn it on because I wasn't carrying any cubes then either. Alright, let's see where this one goes. I'm not worried about the beacon thing. I'm pretty sure I have 2 beacons left in the Cyclops. Oh, look at that. There's a shadow. Is this one actually islandy, or is it not? Nope, I'm 240 meters down. It's definitely not an island. But it's pretty deep in this cave. And once again, I do not seem to have left a beacon here. Huh. It's in the mushroom forest. I guess I didn't spend very much time exploring these ravines. Once again, I don't have a beacon, so now the beacon shortage is becoming a possible problem, because if I find out that the other 2 also don't have beacons, I won't have enough supplies on hand. So if I had discovered all of these things in advance, and if I had taken the time to build vehicles at that time, I would now be in a position where I never needed to move the Cyclops again. I could just take care of all my business in the shallows with those vehicles. And I guess I don't super need to bring the Cyclops back up, because I do have that Seamoth back at Alpha Base, and I could just skinny dip my way over there. Either of those locations, they're only 300 meters down. It's very possible to get up to the surface with my multi-minute air tank on that. But I don't think that would be very much fun. And as I said from the beginning, I am not in a hurry. However, I am all out of time. So come back and see me again tomorrow, and we will continue scouting out these teleport locations and get on with the rest of the mission, as I see it. Talk to you soon. I guess we know where this one is.